over to Salvador Sunyer, who's going to tell us a bit the style of documentary, the style of films that they believe in, the kind of documentary they believe in, and we're going to enjoy a few of the productions we've been doing in the last years.
So, thanks for inviting me. Sorry for my English. I will try to manage it, but if I have a problem, please help me. Rescue me. Okay, thank you, Roberto. I don't know if there is a different cinema between Spain and Catalonia, but it's true that in Barcelona and Catalonia there is some kind of different documentary. I would say not only cinema, but especially on documentary, and it comes from many time ago, especially from a university school. It's called Pompeu Fabra, and they started to try different ways of making documentary and then fiction film. Maybe, I don't know if you know these films, like The Plaque. It won in Berlinale, I think 2 years ago. It's this kind of cinema from Barcelona, we could say. Then it's very known also La Leyenda del Tiempo from Isaac La Cuesta, and of course recently, which is more a fiction film but almost is similar of this style, Summer of '93 from Clara Simon, which is representing Spain this year in the Oscars. So this comes from mainly, as I said, from a university, but now other universities are teaching this kind of cinema, and it consists basically in enlarge your mind and try to find different ways. So it's not genre cinema, it's try to every new movie you make, it has to be a new genre. So if it's possible, something new. If you do this way, it's easy, then you fall, you fail, but you have to keep trying. So this is the idea. So our production company, as Alberto said, we've been 15 years doing this, experimenting with the language, and mainly in documentary, creative documentary. I will put some examples, some short films, some extracts from feature films, and then at the end of the masterclass, I will talk about these films that are projected on Saturday. Okay. At the beginning, I was studying documentary, and at my first documentaries, I remember that I was like following the characters, and sometimes feeling like a paparazzi. I wasn't comfortable with this way, because I was always waiting for them to do something, to cry, to get emotional, to do what I was wondering them to do. And one day we were talking, we saw some of these films I commented, and we decided not to wait, but to provocate. We love to provocate, and then maybe you provoke a situation, and maybe it's going to happen, other thing that you didn't expect, but you have provoked something. So this way, you interact with the reality in a more active way, and it's more like a dialogue. It's not like you following and waiting for, but having a strong paper in the shooting and in the. If you do this kind of shooting, it's always like this. Then, when I just finished my studies at school, my partner, which at that time was my teacher, told me, there is a story in South France that may interest you. It was a very strange thing. Now I'm going to put the trailer. But the situation was, in a small village in southwest France, I don't know if you remember 2012, that many people used to say that the world is going to end, and because of the Maya's predictions and all of this. So it was a small village, South France, about 200 inhabitants, in where I don't know why, but many papers start to say that this was the place that would save from the apocalypse. It was a small village, only old people, about 200 inhabitants, and I went there and nothing happened. It was totally boring. I was young, I wanted action, and they were old people working with the fields, and that's it. But I lied to my teacher at the time, and I said, yes, it's very interesting, we have to do this movie, because I wanted to do my first movie. But when we arrived, and he believed me, but when we were there, nothing happened. So in that time, I decided with my other partner, who was the co-director of the film, to start to provocate something, because we need to have a movie at the end of this. So we started to following some characters for 1 year. Of course, I didn't believe about in the apocalypse, but I needed to build a movie with nothing. So in there, we both, the other director and me, and then the other one, the teacher who added to the crew, we decided to start doing this kind of cinema in where we felt very comfortable. I'm going to show the trailer, and then I'm going to show some extracts from the film and talk about it.
Bonjour, bonjour. Bonjour, bonjour.
Ce ne sont pas des soucoupes volantes qui viendront nous prendre, mais les anges de Dieu.
December 21st, 2012, at a place in Bucharest, in southwest France. This is going to be the place that will save you the apocalypse. And what you're seeing now is what they call the sacred mountain, le Pic de Bucharest. And it's believed that in this mountain there are actually aliens.
Je suis avec Jean-Pierre Delors, le maire de Bucharest.
Il vient d'une bonne blague de monsieur le maire.
Je suis ici, de toute façon, si j'étais guidé jusqu'à la montagne, c'est que je dois être là. Je pourrais mourir, hein, c'est sûr.
On ramassera quelques cadavres, je pense. Comme ça s'est déjà passé.
So, at the beginning, this village, as I was saying, it wasn't anything, but because of the newspapers, because of the New York Times, because of the CNN, because it was like a joke, but it was growing and growing and growing, they started to come many journalists to the village. And by the time we arrived there, these old people who live there because they want to live a quiet life, they was hating cameras incredibly. So We were there, our first movie. We didn't know how to do it, and we had to convince these old women from France who hate us just because we have a camera. So it was very difficult, and by the time, more and more difficult because more and more journalists were arriving. So we decided to choose some characters, to speak with them, and to play a game, because at the end it was like playing a game. We weren't interested in what was truth, what was a lie, what was fiction or documentary, but in playing a game. In this village, we knew that it was like a psychosis because people were getting mad with this story. So we involved more or less 10, 15 characters in the project, and we convinced them to interact with us, but they were like actors, but playing themselves. So this was the way we were working. We used to control everything, but at the end they were actors in playing themselves, so it was real. So it was truth, and this was the game. I will show you an extract, and I would ask you if you can find what is real and what is staged when they are playing a paper, or they are natural as always. He is the man with the white hair is the mayor of the town, and the other one is a journalist, one of the journalists.
D'où vient ce lien entre les Mayas et Bucarach? C'est la question que tout le monde se pose et personne ne semble en connaître la réponse. Ce qui est certain est que les Mayas n'ont jamais été à Bucarach. Quelques-uns commencent à soupçonner que tout a été une blague qui est maintenant hors de contrôle.
Bonjour Jean-Pierre, comment tu vas? T'es prêt pour l'interview?
Ah ouais, je n'arrête pas.
T'as réfléchi un peu? Là c'est le micro, tu sais comment le mettre?
Ouais, je vais me le mettre, ouais.
Bon.
C'est pas un suppositoire, mais presque.
Ça va, tout va bien? Bon. Impeccable?
Ah ouais, impeccable.
Bon, alors tu t'installes là.
Ah ouais, je me mets là.
Oui, tu t'installes là, pas de problème, ouais, vas-y.
Ouais.
Allez. Tu ne regardes pas l'objectif, tu me regardes. Ok? C'est prêt? Ouais. Tu penses qu'il va y avoir du monde?
Alors attends,
j'ai l'impression que les locations marchent bien quand même.
Oui, les locations. Mon pendule. Attends. Pose la question, je vais te dire.
Y aura-t-il du monde à Bucarach le 21 décembre?
Oh putain. Ah oui, il va y avoir plein de monde. Hein.
Ah, tu as la clé des champs?
Oui, la clé des champs.
D'accord. Et au fait, la réunion en préfecture là, avec les gendarmes et tout pour la sécurité dans le village autour du 21 décembre, elle a eu lieu ou pas?
Non.
Elle est prévue?
Courant novembre, ouais.
Ah, d'accord.
Oui.
Et ils t'ont pas dit ce qu'ils allaient faire exactement?
Non, là, on a seulement évoqué ce qu'on a dit tout à l'heure, le nombre de gendarmes, etc. Filtrer les accès, mais encore, c'est pas vraiment défini, quoi.
D'accord. Bon. Sinon, les Bucarachois, il n'y en a pas qui souhaitent s'exiler ailleurs parce qu'ils en ont marre ou...
Personne m'a rien dit.
Pour la fin du mois ou...
Bien au contraire, ils veulent être là.
Ah, ils veulent être là?
Ah ben oui, parce que ils veulent se préserver au moins leurs biens, parce que finalement, on ne sait pas quel déferlement peut nous tomber sur la tête. Hein.
Car elle leur vaut la visite régulière de touristes un peu particuliers. Bucarach serait devenu un haut lieu de pèlerinage pour les angoissés de 2012.
Après, c'est très médiatisé. Tu sais, face au pic, c'est vraiment que c'est grave.
C'est la mairie, ça.
De cette notoriété tombée du ciel.
Quelque part, c'est un développement d'intérêt pour les gens qui vivent du tourisme.
Sur notre village et notre micro-région, je suis ravi qu'on parle de ma commune. Et je souhaite que ça continue, mais modérément.
Parce que tu vas te trouver déjà devant des gens de chinois, anglais, tout ça, et il faut que tu leur fasses voir que tu as dans le ventre rien de, on va dire, je veux qu'on me connaisse.
Il faut surtout que tu montres
qu'on me connaisse, mais tellement
ça te permet de te faire connaître en plus.
C'est là qu'il faut sortir du ventre tout ce que tu sais faire.
C'est le moment ou jamais, tu vois, les vidéos c'est bien beau, mais il faut tomber sur la tienne, tandis que là...
Et là, mais ces journalistes, ils te connaissent toi de partout, et parmi eux, peut-être il y en a un qui te dira, mon petit, on veut te voir quelque part.
On t'embarque.
Moi, mon objectif premier, c'était de me faire opérer dans le monde.
Ouais.
Mais d'ailleurs, là, ça marche.
Là, c'est l'occasion, là.
C'est le moment où jamais, là. Hein.
Après, s'ils le diffusent pas et qu'on n'a pas de vidéo, on peut pas savoir.
Et il n'y aura pas d'autre fin du monde. Hein.
Non, c'est la seule. C'est une chance inouïe qui ne passera jamais dans la vie.
Inouïe et inespérée.
Inespérée, qui ne passera jamais plus. Donc, il faut que tu montres à ces gens
que tu déchires.
Et
voilà, que tu sortes,
voir
et surtout que tu fasses,
tu as dans le ventre, que tu es magicien.
Que tu fasses un joli tour.
Bonjour, vous êtes bien chez Florence Etraguet, mais aussi sur la ligne de slide Le Magicien. Je ne sais pour quelle raison magique nous ne pouvons vous répondre, mais ce qui est sûr, c'est que vous pouvez laisser votre message après le signal. Je vous rappellerai si je réapparais. Merci de votre appel. À bientôt, j'espère.
Bon, mais ça commence mal. Ah. Oui, bonjour Slide. Je t'appelle parce que j'ai vu ton annonce de tour de magie. Alors voilà, je cherche un partenaire pour réaliser un tour tout à fait exceptionnel. Il faudrait que tu viennes me voir si ça t'intéresse, et ça va t'intéresser. Il faudrait que tu viennes alors à la maison, petite maison de pierre, sur la route Baldure. Allez, à bientôt.
Alors, je te présente Tara, là, la chef qui danse. En dessous, il y a la Vierge Marie. Et à droite, Marie-Madeleine de Rennes le Château.
D'accord.
Il y a 3 pommes qui sont les offrandes à Tara.
D'accord, ok, mais ça fait du monde, hein.
Et ouais, on n'y va pas.
Ouais.
Il y a du monde, hein. Et encore, tout le monde n'est pas là.
Mais ouais.
Voilà, alors je vais me rallumer ma cigarette maintenant, quand même. Je vais surveiller dans le poulet. Aussi. Et t'as pas de copine?
Non.
Non? Ah là là. C'est bon. Alors pourtant, les jeunes filles sympas là-bas, on est bien.
Ouais, mais je leur plais pas ou... Enfin...
Ah, t'as des problèmes un peu avec?
Ouais.
Ah, je connais ça, ouais. Et donc là, l'illusionnisme rejoint la magie.
Oui.
Et si tu parles de magie noire, c'est donc l'utilisation de ces pouvoirs que tout le monde a dans un but, on va dire, négatif. Est-ce que si tu voyais, par exemple, là, mettons, il y aurait une apparition d'un démon, est-ce que tu crois que tu aurais peur?
Là, oui, ouais. Comme maintenant.
Et si c'était un ange?
Ça aurait été un ange, pas vraiment. J'aurais pas... Enfin, je serais un petit peu surpris de le voir, mais sinon, j'aurais pas peur.
Et comment tu peux faire la différence entre l'ange et les démons?
For me, the interesting was, for example, this old man. It was real that he was a man who was a little bit crazy. He was living alone, and he wanted to have a friend because he felt alone. The little boy, it was true that he was a magician, and he wanted to be famous. He wanted to success and to be famous and to be known. The mayor was true that he wanted to. He liked it a lot. Was narcissist, so he liked it, cameras, interviews, etc. The journalist, it was true that he wanted to be an important journalist like Nixon, and find out what was happening there and what was the origin of all this madness. So, if you know a character a little bit and you know what is in the real life, what they want, what they expecting for life and for the movie in which they are participating, then you can play. Then you can mix them. Then you can write the stories, and this is the interesting thing because, for example, of course, this little boy and this old man, they never would meet to each other in real life, but we wanted them to be friends. So we put together, and at the beginning it's not working because he's like this, the other one is not used to talk with people and it's not working, so you have to manage to do the sequence work. And this is, for me, one of the most interesting things if you shoot that way. Then you understand that you need the boy to be scared, more scared. So you talk with the old man in order to scare him. So the old man scares him, and then he is scared, and this is truth. So then it works for the movie, because there is truth in there. The interpretation is good because it's true, and that way you play with the reality, and the reality play with you, because at the same time the characters expect things from you, from the movie, and of course they expect things from their characters, because in a way they are interpreting themselves So they're writing their own story. So they want them to success in the movie or to be good in the movie. So you have to deal with all the things. So for me and for us, and maybe for the Barcelona school, which I don't know if it exists, but we can tell it like this. This is the complexity of shooting like this. At school, they used to show us many documentaries, successful documentaries, like Anglo-Saxon, ¿cómo sería? Anglo-Saxon documentaries, like the ones who won the Oscar, like Searching for Sugar Man or The Wire. No, The Wire, Man on Wire, in which you have very good reconstructions, in which you have interviews. So, and most of the times they fit in a genre. Like it's a suspense, it's a thriller, it's a comedy, and they work very well and they are perfect for all the public. But we wanted to feel free to investigate, and of course it would be always small movies, but free. And we keep shooting like this, and now I'm going to show you another example of this, very different. This is about my partner. I didn't direct this one. Went to Ethiopia on holiday and discovered that there were many children living on the street, and they wanted to do a movie. I don't know why, but they were obsessed in doing movies. They didn't have anything for it. They had problems for the food, but they were always talking about movies. So he decided to work with them and to do a short film. The short film had success. It went to Sundance, and then because of the short film, he could do a feature film about the same topic. If I'm not going to put the feature film because it's too many time, but I'm going to show you the short film.
ማታ ማታ እንትን ስተኝ ከተነሳው ተኝቼ በሀሳብ እንደተኛው እናቴ እንዴት እንደሞተች ሲታየኝ መጀመሪያ ከቤት ወጣችና እንዳትወጪ ብዬ ወደ ቤት ሳስገባት እቃ ልገዛ ነው ብላ ወጣች። ከዛ በአንድ ላይ ወጣን ወደ ቤት ሄድን፣ ወደ ሱቅ ሄድን በአንድ ላይ እየሄድን እኔ ባዶ እግሬ ስለነበርኩ ቀስ እያልኩ ስሄድ እሷ እየሮጠች ወደ አስፋልት ስትወጣ መኪና ገጫት። መኪና ሲገጫት ከዚህ ከወደ የሆነ እንትን ነገር ወጣ። በሱ ምክንያት እሱን ሳስታውስ ነው ብር የሚወድቅብኝ። የኔ እናቴ ታብኛለች አባቴ ያለው
እዚህ ማደሪያ በብር ነው የሚታደረው።
ስንት
በብር ነው ያለቀው። አሁን ቀጥ ብለህ ሂድ እኮ ነው የሚለው speak Tagalog. እናት አባት አልነበረኝ። ከዛ ከእንጀራ እናቴ ጋር የኖርኩ እሷ በጣም ስታሰቃየ ከቤት 150 ብር ወስጄ እና የሚበላ ነገር አውጥቼ ወጣሁ ከቤት የሚበላ እንጀራ። ከዛ ይዤ ወጣሁና አይሱዚ ላይ ተሳፈርኩ። አልከፈልኩ። ከዛ እኔ ደግሞ ሩጬ አይሱዚዋ ብዙ ዕቃ ጭና ነበር። በቀስታ እየሄደ በሌላ መንገድ ገብቼ ባላመጣ መንገድ ተከትዬ ያስኳት። ከዛ ተሰቀልኩት መኪናው ላይ። ከዛ መጣሁ እዚህ አዲስ አበባ።
ትላንትም አልኩሽ ቀሚያው ሄድን ኪሎ ሙሉ ገለምሶ ቃመ ሙሉ ገለምሶ ተቃመን በኋላ ደግሞ እንደገና ወጣን። አንድ ቀለታ ማለት ነው 12 ቀበሌ እየሸቀላለ አንዱ ሰክሮ ማለት ነው ሲሸቀል አንድ ብራ ወጣና እንደዚህ ሊገጮ ድፍን አመዷ ዱብ ትላለች። እዛላ ያቺኛዋን ረግጦ እኮን ተቀብሎ ድፍን አመዷን ይዞ ቀደድ ምን ቢያደርግ ደስ ይላል። ኪኪናን ይዞ አልጋ ቤት አደረ። ለናቱ 5 ሳንቲም አልሰጣትም። እዛም ባልጋ ቤት አደረ ማለት ነው። እኛ ይዘነው አረበና እሱ ልጅማ ለእናቱ እንደሚሆን አፍታሩ እኔና አስከፍቶኛል። አንዴ ለፖሊስ አቋል በቃ ለጨብሽ እንችላለን። ከያዛም 50 ብር አይተበት እርግጠኛ ነው። በቃ ቀቤ ነው ለጨብሽ ይቻላል ማለት ነው። አተፈለው ትተውላ ያፈልፈለው لا يطلع أتفلو أبوش أتفلفلو سما فلفلو ناس السلام نورس سنتي زاد ناتي لقى سما سنتي زاد بدن بفتشوا
Yelle şife
So after the success of the short film, my partner he came back to Ethiopia and shot the feature film with them, and they convinced them to do the journey back to their homes. And because of the movie, one of them was accepted by his family again. Otherwise, it didn't happen. So, for me, the interesting thing is this. You do a film, okay, but you interact with the reality, and maybe reality gives something to you, and maybe you give something to reality. Of course, always willing not to fail with the ethical point of view you have. Everyone have his point of view. Normally, at the beginning, when you are a student, you are very ethical, and then by time, this point it's changing. It's an interesting point in documentary. For example, when I was many years ago, when I was much younger than now, I was looking for this moment in which parents tell their sons or their daughters that Santa Claus, aquí está Santa Claus, no? Sí, no? Yeah. Santa Claus are the parents. In Catalonia, in Spain, we have Santa Claus and the kings. But I wanted to shoot this moment in which the parents tell their kids that who are they. So I found a mother who wanted to do it and wanted me to film her. And I wanted to show you this short film because I like it a lot, but by the time I feel guilty. Every time I watch it, I feel guilty. So because it's worse than this, excuse me. At that time, there was a company, a friend of us who was starting a company, a very strange company, who asked me for a commercial. And I said, I don't want to do a commercial like this, okay? But I would like to show how a mother tell a kid that, and we can use this, if you pay me, we can use this in your commercial, because I only wanted to shoot this. And it's a commercial.
A mamãe queria dizer uma coisa para você, né? Lembra que você estava perguntando, o Papai Noel, Papai Noel, Papai Noel, lembra disso? Não? Então, o Papai Noel, ele traz o quê? Regalos, não? Traz os presentes, né? Mas, na verdade, o Papai Noel, ele não existe.
São vocês?
É o papai e a mamãe, né? Aí a gente queria contar isso para você, por isso, para contar de que quem compra o regalo do Papai Noel é o papai e a mamãe, né? A gente queria colocar a árvore, colocar, né, as velhinhas que a gente coloca no Natal, né?
E os reis também.
Nos reis a gente embala os presentes, né? E traz para você. A gente coloca escondidinho, né? Aí a gente coloca escondido. Isabela, 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 vamos fazer o Reis. Hã?
Você me deixou sem palavras, mamãe.
Sem palavras?
Mas por que você me diz isso? Nesse dia eu não podia haver descobrido sozinha.
Mas você já não estava pensando, né? Você lembra que você comentou com a mamãe alguma coisa? Lembra disso? Né? Porque a gente acha importante passar para você essa informação, não é? Sim ou não? Você tem alguma dúvida? Queria perguntar alguma coisa para a mamãe?
Aqui eu gostaria que como eu estava com dúvida, eu gostaria de ver descobrido depois da dúvida. Sabe? Eu descobri, eu estou descobrindo e que ninguém me dissesse. Sabe? Que eu descobrisse sozinha assim, como assim, não que alguém me dissesse.
Uhum. E como você acha que você ia descobrir sozinha?
Pelo tempo.
Passando o tempo? Mas você lembra daquela sua amiga que já comentou? Aí a gente achou que era interessante, eu conversei com o papai, ele falou, não, a gente já de alguma forma, ela já está sabendo, né? Ela está perguntando. Lembra que você perguntou, mamãe, mas o Papai Noel quem é? É o papai, não é? Lembra disso? Então já começou a fazer perguntas. Então você já estava descobrindo já por si só.
Então, mas eu gostaria de haver descobrido por si só, como eu estava fazendo, e já eu sozinha, não descobrido até o final, não pelo metade do caminho.
Faltava muito pro final?
Não.
Não? O que estava faltando?
Não sei.
Ué, não sei também.
E o Ratoncito Pérez também.
Vale. Mas aí a Fada dos Dentes?
Também.
Mas lembra que na Fada dos Dentes a gente coloca dinheirinho? A gente não coloca regalo, né? Lembra disso?
Então, mas por que vocês não me colocam regalos?
Não, porque era uma opção nossa.
E o cagateou também, né?
E cagateou? Também. Mas na verdade o cagateou tá ali, ó. Né? Lembra que a gente comentou pra você? É uma madeira. Não, madeira, sim. Mas quem foi que fez?
Mas, bom.
Também dá um abracinho no papai e na mamãe.
Never do that. But in our production company, we also do good things. We are not just monsters. For example, I wanted to show you a movie we produced last year. It was about, I don't know if you know about the mayoress of Barcelona, Ada Colau, who started to be like an activist and Ocupa, and now is the mayor of the city. So it's a nice story, and we did the film, and now it's in festivals. I'll show you the trailer.
Cuidado,
¿Por qué hacen esto si no somos delincuentes? ¡Esta es nuestra casa!
¡Este desahucio no vamos a parar!
Que tenemos que echarlo, que somos muchos más la gente desgraciada y la gente que nos quedamos sin casa, sin trabajo, sin dinero, sin hijos, porque se van.
además representar al pueblo, pues la mejor forma de representar al pueblo es presentarse a las elecciones y conseguirlo con votos.
Com m'imagino aquestes gravacions que comencem avui? La gent està farta de perdre, està farta de no pintar res, saps?
Nosotros tenemos la capacidad de cambiar eso.
Es muy chulería proponer eso.
La gran novetat és que aquesta setmana han començat les negociacions de veritat. I ens hem fotut una hòstia, però que ha estat, vamos, monumental.
Aquesta cara, posar-la, reforça la idea de que això és Ada Colau i los fans.
Tu critiques de la vella política aquest personalisme i, en canvi, tu ara el protagonitzes.
Jo no puc estar com l'Ada que he sigut sempre. Tenim una hipòtesi perquè jo no vull sentir. No la tinc clara, la tenim o no? I això m'està començant a posar de mal humor. Si anem allà no anem de pardillos, que és el que estaríem fent ara mateix, perquè jo sento que vaig a cegues i no en tinc ni puta idea de què em trobaré, i una candidatura guanyadora no pot anar així per la vida.
M'està trucada al Xavier Trias.
I recommend this movie because it's wonderful. Before the questions, I wanted to show another option. If you study documentary, in my case, I like doing commercials if I have freedom, which is a contradiction in the commercial world. But sometimes I find some examples in which I can do, for example, a short film, a documentary short film, to sell something. And I wanted to show you because, of course, it's documentary. Two, for example, I'll put two examples, two short examples. They are short films, but they are commercials also, like the thing of the little girl. And they are for a theatre festival, which is the biggest in Spain and much more small than the one you have here. For example, this was in 2015 when Europe was debating if maybe would be a good option to, ¿cómo es digo expulsar? To expulsar Grecia de Europa. To throw Greece out of Europe. And of course, Greece is the la cuna, is the original, the background of all of us, no? So I did this short film for the festival, and it's a good option, maybe if you do documentaries in the future, to convince a company or a festival or something like this to do a short film and commercial.
Κάποιον αγαπάω, δυο ευχές κρατάω και δυο τάματα κρατώ, περπατώ και πάω. Κάποιος είπε πως η αγάπη σε ένα σπίτι.
Όταν νυχτώνει, πρέπει να παραδεχτούμε το σκοτάδι. Τραγωδία είναι η οδή του τράγου. άνθρωπος πρέπει να είναι έτοιμος για να πεθάνει, έτσι ώστε να ξαναγεννηθεί. Οι θεοί ζητούν αίμα. Γιατί δεν υπάρχει φαγητό? Γιατί του αδελφού ο θάνατος? Πού είναι η ομορφιά? Πότε θα ξαναγυρίσει? Ποιος θα μας απαντήσει αν οι θεοί δεν θέλουν να μιλήσουν? Η πλάνη ότι έχουμε τις απαντήσεις στις ερωτήσεις μας είναι η ρίζα που στεριώνει στο χώμα μας. Τα δάκρυά μας το νερό του. Η τραγωδία είναι η ρίζα των πάντων.
One more example and we go to questions, okay? And recently we did another one, I think it's funnier than this one. And it was for the same festival, and I'm going to show it to you.
Explain something you can't really explain. I mean, you have to live it. This place is amazing. There's people from across the world, but we all speak the same language. Never in my wildest dreams could I imagine the things I'd see. Try to picture an island of pleasure in the heart of the desert. Are you following me, dear? I guess not. It's useless. But anyways, this is the Festival of Joy, a little piece of heaven on earth. Please don't wake me up. I'm dreaming that I'm happy. Here, when the sun goes down, There's this feeling that everything is possible, that you'll see things you'll never forget. Things that will stay with you forever. Forever. Huh.
Are you ready for tragedy? Action. Drama. Emotions. For you. For everybody.
Unfortunately, nothing lasts forever. And so, when days become colder, everybody returns home. And you ask yourself, what's this all for? Well, that's what I wanted to tell you. Yes, you. If you don't see it, then it's useless.
We are lucky because with the cameras of the moment, you can shoot in everywhere, and if you have a good camera, you can get nice images. Before the questions, I don't know if it's necessary to talk about the movies from Nanouk. That you will be able to watch on Saturday. Let's Go Ahead is it's a question. The feature film won the jury prize in the Locarno Film Festival. I don't know if you know the Locarno Film Festival, but it's a festival specialized in very arty movies, very authorial movies. So it's a very slow movie. So maybe you have to smoke a joint if you want to watch it. But for me, it's a great movie. It's all the movie is shot in, I think, 2 months inside of a cargo ship, Philippine cargo ship, in where people live there and they don't have any holiday. They live there and they are like machines. So it's like a choreography between machines and people who are like machines, and the sound, the editing, the image are wonderful. So it's like a journey. And the other one, it's a short film. It's Kukli, about an old man who fell in love with a pigeon. And I don't know if it's true or if it's a fairy tale, but for me it's one of the best short films I ever seen. I didn't direct it. It was a friend of mine, and I don't know if have you seen it? Yes, no?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think about it? What do you think about it? Because if I say it's good, it's not.
If you could show us the trailer, I'll say like it's going to be exactly on and yeah.
So I'm gonna put the trailer of the. I don't know if it's in the website. The trailer. I can put the trailer. Let's go ahead. If you don't like slow movies, don't go.
Hello, Mami. Oh, Happy New Year to. Kamusta? Ayos ba?
Masaya naman. Madami naman nila dito.
Wala eh, hanggang picture na lang yung tinitingnan ko ng mga bata, pati ikaw eh.
Tulog sila.
Tulog sila. Kamusta naman yung mahal ko? Maganda pa rin ba? Ha? Ha? Hello? Hello? Sino to? Hello?
Hard movie. I wanted to show you another short film, experimental, but we don't have time, I think. Bueno, if you want to make questions, and if not, tenemos que terminar a las 5, ¿no?
Yeah, I mean, we have half an hour, so...
We have half an hour. Yes, because this is another short film we produced recently. I think it was the short film was selected in the BFI here in London. And I wanted to show you because it's a proof that without any money you can do short films, and you can start with this. Found footage. YouTube, it's a girl, it's a friend of us, and she always worked with found footage.
Hi, I just want to ask one basic question, which is, am I pretty or not?
I was on the internet, and, well, YouTube, and I saw these videos, and they were called, Am I Pretty or Ugly?
these girls on YouTube, like, making videos asking people if they look good.
Hi everyone, I just wanted to make this video to see if you think that I'm pretty or if you think that I'm ugly.
I just want to know if I'm ugly or am I pretty?
I just wanted to know that am I pretty or ugly, because I don't really know.
Personally,
and, right now I just want the truth. So
I want to know.
I'm gonna take these
What do you guys think
off.
of me? You
Am
think
I
of me
pretty?
ugly or
Am I ugly?
pretty?
Am I pretty or ugly? I'm pretty or not? Am I pretty or ugly? But the reason why I'm asking YouTube.
Sometimes people say that I'm pretty, but sometimes people say that I'm ugly. I just wanted to know if you think that I am pretty or if you think that I am ugly.
I'm pretty.
I mean, I'm not beautiful because I actually know that.
All my friends in school are always like, oh, you're so pretty, like, blah, blah, blah.
Well, a lot of my friends are like, Reagan, you're so pretty. And I'm like, no, I'm not.
Oh my gosh, you're so pretty. I wish I was you. I'm gonna say shut up because I know I am ugly as hell.
This is me from the side. This is me from the side.
If you can see I'm wearing makeup, see.
Check out my other video and I'll show you myself without makeup.
I mean, I think it's sad that anyone would post a video on YouTube even asking if they're pretty. Like,
I don't even know what to say about it.
Hi everyone, welcome to my first Watch Me Shrink video on YouTube. This is the first time I do something like that, but I really want to lose weight and I watched some of the other videos and I decided that this could be a way to, well, get a bit of motivation and finally lose the weight.
Hi my YouTube friends, thank you for joining me once again. If you watched my last video, video number 16, you know that I've lost 56 pounds in 105 days.
This is my second YouTube video I'm making. My first one was how to lose 40 pounds in 2 months.
A lot of you has been asking me like, oh, it looks like you're thinner or whatever, and then you guys been asking me how I lost weight. I started out at 165. Right now, I'm 140, so I dropped 25 pounds. When I first weighed myself, I weighed 120 pounds, and I'm glad to say now I weigh 110 pounds. So in 1 week, I lost 10 pounds, which is amazing. As you guys know, I'm getting married next year, so I'm still on a conquest to lose a few more pounds.
So this is the body shape, as you can see, like everything's just wobbling, my legs are fat and I feel uncomfortable, I feel fat and I'm just not used to it and
I'm not saying that this is the healthiest way and I'm not recommending that everyone do this.
I'm not a doctor or a professional at all. These are just things and foods that help me lose weight personally for myself.
One thing you really need to cut out if you're really trying to lose weight is alcohol.
Out of your diet. Alcohol has so many calories and it's also really bad for your skin as well.
Over the summer I drank a lot. That was pretty stupid and that was an insane amount. I could never do that now. Girl, don't torture yourself like that. Don't make yourself gain that extra unwanted weight.
Try to not drink soda. And if it's too hard for you, I know that right now I'm drinking soda like crazy.
I do not drink soda. Even if that's the last thing to drink, I won't drink it. I think I've done pretty good by losing 25 pounds already. I cut out soda.
Have a solid group of people behind you. Friends, family, my YouTube friends.
Yesterday I did horrible. This weekend was like really, really bad. I was like, okay, I gotta go for a walk because I felt horrible, but I still didn't eat after 6.
I'm pretty happy. My measurements now are
37 for my hips, 29 for my waist.
Was 14 inches and
And
now it's
38 for
my
my chest, I think.
was
So still
38
hourglass,
and now
so
it's
still happy
34.
when I'm standing like that. I'd like to lose a tiny, tiny bit there. If I don't, I mean, it's not a huge deal, but, you know, it does kind of scoop out, I guess. I still think it doesn't look that good from the back because it looks like it goes out a lot, but I don't really mind.
I am quite happy with my weight now, and I am more happier and content than I have ever been, like, in my life.
Okay, folks. This will be a little instructional video on how to make your own packer.
I can't afford a packer online because they're like, I think the cheapest one is like $20 and I'm a broke ass motherfucker.
The economy today, and like, yeah, it's just that I haven't been able to find a job and stuff like that, so it's difficult to get a binder and a packer and so on and so forth, so I decided to make my own.
It's actually pretty simple if you just have a lot of ankle socks and soccer socks, or longer socks.
You take like a really small ankle sock, like little kids or whatever, you know.
What you'll need is, well, scissors,
like lay it out flat.
a condom, yes, a condom, it doesn't matter what brand.
Socks. You take the tip of the bottom of the sock and you roll it up.
Roll it up like this.
It's not great for your hair, but
You take the two socks, the two ankle socks, and you put the condom over them. It's very simple. It'll look like this.
But like, it kind of looks like an actual penis because of like the little head up here. Put your packer through the hole, like this. And you're gonna want that hole to be kind of snug, otherwise your packer falls out the top of it.
And then what you want to do is you want to fit it over yourself. I suggest doing this without pants on, but I have. And then you've got.
Give me a second. Excuse the nudity.
So you just like pull this up around your waist, and then I'm gonna step away for a minute, and then like kind of mess with it a little bit. Situate everything.
But if you wear it to the left,
So,
then you have the risk of it falling down your
I
pants.
don't know. Hopefully you can see it. Like that's what it looks like from the side.
It's not huge. It's not ridiculous.
From the
like
front, you can even like
can't really tell. See, it's nice.
see what it looks like right there. Inside of the O-ring.
Hello? 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 Josh? Yeah?
Hey, Mom. Hey, Mom.
Of course.
It's okay.
Can I tell you something personal?
Time I've freaking called.
Can I tell you something personal?
Are you alone?
Can I tell you something personal?
There's something I've been meaning to tell you.
I just wanted to tell you something.
Huh?
Will you love me? Period?
Are you gonna love me no matter what?
This at the beginning was some videos for a museum installation, and then she did this short film, and €0. So this is a good option because now in YouTube you have all the emotions, all the situations, all the complications, everything is in YouTube. So I think it's a good and interesting field to discover. explore. ¿Cómo funciona esto?
We have 20 minutes for questions, so I'd like to throw a first one, made up into the family. It was quite a varied trip through Salvador, some of the works that you do from Nanouk. But yeah, I'd like to know a bit more about how do you decide to set up Nanouk basically? When you were leaving the school, were you thinking on being a director, and how came the decision to come and fund a production company and produce films, and commercials and documentaries?
In my case, Nanouk was already founded for other partners. They went off from the company, and at that time, me and my partner, we are younger than the other one, we arrived and we did this movie, Buarak, all together, and they did the proposal to us to be partners, so this was how it started. And the thing is that we try to, we not only do films or documentaries, we do videos for museums, for theater, so we try to be like a laboratory. If someone comes there with an idea we like it, we try to produce. And then we do other things less interesting in order to get some money to be able to produce these experiments or these new things.
Is there, to be focused more in the side of documentary of Nanouk, is there a particular type of projects, is a particular type of films that because you see quickly, let's go ahead, you see some of the ones that you've been producing, and then you see different style of documentary as Alcaldesa, which is more journalistic. Do you have a particular line? Or
no, we are open because we don't like to have a line, because of course it's good for a company to be very good in one thing, but we like to be open to such of different things. If a more classic documentary would come to Nanouk and it's a great story, but we can produce it, of course. And now we are producing, now we are doing the same. We have a project now in which we produce one future fiction film per year, coming from a student. So we try to check out which students are in the final grade in Barcelona, they are interesting, they have interesting projects. We choose one and we produce this fiction film, which is more expensive, but it's a new step. So we are now editing the first one and editing the second one. So in the in half a year, will come out these two movies. So we will do this every year one movie.
Guys, any particular questions about some of the bits that you've seen, some of the particular projects that Salva has been introducing?
So I had a couple questions. One, I thought some of their shots are obviously very gorgeous, and they look like narrative. Some images almost look like narrative films, like you. And I wondered how much, particularly the piece that was in the southwest of France, how much you would stage the action. I mean, I know it's a documentary, but did you stop the boy and the old man at any time so you could get different angles? Did you have multiple cameras, or is it just the high technology that your cameras were? Stunning? It was really stunning. So
at the beginning of the documentary, as I explained, we were like filming what happened, waiting the things happen, and this was 1 year in the village, and we came there for 1 week or 10 days or 2 weeks, then come back to Barcelona, watch the material, then wait, and then come back. We did like this during a whole year. And the movie at the beginning was very different. It was an observational movie, very slowly. Like, I don't know if you have seen the movies from The Pardon, from France. It doesn't matter, but And we started to do that, and for us it was very funny, and we didn't know exactly what we was doing. For example, in this case, at the beginning we needed them to be friends, but of course this old man and this little boy, how they are going to be friends? So we met themselves one day, we shoot it. It was strange, it wasn't truth, so when you watch the images in the screen, it was like, this is not working, it's not organic. And then another day, and then we tried to scare him, and then we tried to feel the old guy need to do. So it's like a psychological game in which you are playing, and you try situations. We call them, ¿cómo se llama? Dispositivos, dramatic dispositives? No. Displayings? No.
Dramatic.
Dispositivos. Es como, for example, I don't know if you have seen how.
Dramatic resources, but not really, probably it's not the literal translation. Dramatic resources.
Each character, we set the situation. It has to be a sequence. It has to be a beginning, an ending, and each character maybe knows what he has to do, but he doesn't know what the other one has to do. So here there is a game, but in each situation you need to rebuild everything because every character is different. So this is the thing. For me, it's interesting because you are in the shooting and you are like very connected with what's happening because you are directing like a fiction film, but a documentary. But some maybe in one case, one of them get very angry with us, and he the movie. So we have to be careful. I don't know if I have answered your question more or less. No?
Just to complement it, so you get there and you found that nothing was happening, so you decide to do a twist. How was the twist process? Let's say, how many people were in the crew? Like with who you were debating the daily adventure, let's say, and did you guys decide, okay, this is going to be the storyline and this is where we want to throw it out, or it was a daily adventure? Okay, this is leading to there.
It's a mix between everything because in one hand, when you make the twist, you say the twist. It's not the twist because it's like progressive and it's not like one day by day. But when you can decide everything, then a new wall opens to you, and then you have to. Okay, this is the reality, and this is what the movie I would like to do about other things, because before this movie I had other things in the head. So you have to match them. Maybe sometimes in this movie there is a couple of examples in which it's very noticeable that we wanted one thing and the reality was very far away, and it makes like this. So it's a small crew. It's important because they are not used to cameras and shooting, so it's like we were like 4, 5, 6 more or less. And then in each situation you have to calibrate. At the beginning, people didn't want to talk with us because we were evil, because we have a camera, and all the journalists came there. Nothing happened, but if they were a journalist from Edinburgh, the newspaper paid them or the television paid them the flight, the tickets, the hotel. So they had to come back with something. So they invented everything because they spent 2 days and I don't know, they shoot a woman in there like, and they are, I don't know. So when people from the village saw the news, las noticias que habían hecho, the news they made, they get more and more angry with journalism and with cameras and with foreigners. So we had to spend, in this case, in this specific case, we had to spend 1 month or almost 1 month in convincing them that we were in another thing different, because we wanted to do something deeper and to be more ¿cómo les digo això? well, to be more honest. Then it wasn't true because it would change and we did another story. In fact, it was very interesting because they had an idea of the movie they were doing, of course, very far away from the movie we were doing. And when we finished the movie, we did a projection in the village, and we had to almost had to run away because they wanted to kill us.
That is interesting because probably for one of the challenges, no, when trying to approach to documentary film and doing documentary film is that relationship with being a foreigner, arrive to a situation, gain the confidence of the characters or the space that you film, you know. In that context, I understand that it would not be easy to build that confidence with all that surrounding and environment. How did it end up, the relationship? There was a point that they felt more relaxed?
No, because by the experience, at the end you understand that people want to be in a movie or in a documentary for 4 or 5 reasons, always. So if you have to find which is their reason and then play that direction. Sometimes if it's an old person, they want to be like a homenaje.
Homage or tribute.
A tribute because everyone deserves a tribute of their lives. Some of them are because they want to success, and this is a way of I want to be famous, or I want to be good in something, and now some foreigners from all the people of this village, they want me. Finally, they see me as I see myself. So when you find these ways, it's easy to find it. But in each case is different, and you need to, at the beginning, without the camera. The first days without the camera, and they trying to be friends, understand, and see if the character is interesting for you, and if he's interested in doing the movie.
I just wanted to ask you on sort of a practical note, I guess. You've shown us a film that's in French, one that's in an Ethiopian language, one that's in Portuguese. I know they have different directors, but can you just talk a little bit about working with translators, or if you utilize the crew sort of in small spaces that speak another language, how much freedom do you give them interacting with the subject? How much do you spend?
This is a very interesting question, because in each case, again, it's special. In my case, every director I think works different in this issue. But in my case, I prefer to watch what is happening. I imagine what is happening. What is he saying? What is he thinking? Because there is a universal thing that is the face and thing. And then, when this comes to a possible end, I ask the translator what happened. What happened? I do, yes, no, oh shit, and then this, because if it has to be like it's impossible to flow. If it's an interview like periodistic or film like very technical, yes, of course you need to understand. But if it's like more cinematic, I think it's go to let it flow a little bit, because if not, it's hard. And then, for example, for the voiceovers, I show you some cases. For example, this piece I shot in Greece. This is an old man speaking Greek. I don't know anything about Greek, and I had no translator, but by the pronunciation, more or less, yes, and then by intuition, because if not, it's impossible. For example, this one in Benidorm, in the beach, the thing, is it good English, or which English is from London? I don't know this. I'm not able to notice this. So it's like intuition, and if it sounds good.
But one member of your crew might be a translator instead of you, for example, using a cameraman.
In the case of this first movie in France, I didn't know any French, so I wanted to do the movie, so I did an intensive course of French in the Institut Français in Barcelona, and then I chose a production line girl. She was from from there. So yes, but again it's very important, this person, because you have to be very confident, because he has a lot of power. She had a lot of power, and in each case has a lot, because he has all the information from both sides. And if you are not in a good mood with this person, you can have a lot of problems. For example, in Greece, in this case, we had many problems with the line producer because we hated to each other. Yes, and he was boycotting sabotaging the shooting, because he was angry with all the crew, not only me, all the crew, and so we had real problems with. So when you shoot far away, it's important to have someone close to you, because
then when you produce, because you're in both sides, in that case you were the director, but when you produce, do you sabotage, or do you impose, or do Nanouk or your colleagues try to impose sabotage and make us get to the point? You know, you've been in the role of director in that case in Bugara, but then in many other films you were playing the role of producers.
Yes.
So were you a nice producer getting along with the director in most of the cases, or were they cases where you was tense?
Yeah, it is always, because in our company we are 3 partners, and all of us, we are directors and producers, which is a good thing and a bad thing, of course. But when we produce movies, one of the good things is that we know what is happening. We know easier what is happening in the shooting. We are in Barcelona, and the shooting may be in another way, but it's easy to know what is happening. And yes, and sometimes you have good relations with the director, and sometimes you have bad relations. With the director of the movie, of the Let's Go Ahead on Saturday, it was difficult because he's a strong character. But
because you were just talking about Mauro, for instance, that was a case of co-production. What's your view of co-production? Obviously, to bring projects today is more rare that you can just produce your work in your own country, and you have to go to markets, you have to go to festivals, and seek for how's your relationship going in that line of producing works, working with other production companies, working with other countries?
For countries which are poor as mine, and especially in cinema, they don't invest in culture. It's almost impossible to produce a movie without co-production, and without co-production with outside. So, first step we do always is to make a teaser. It's very important to have a good teaser, to invest many time, many hours, many energy in a good teaser, because you can write a dossier like this, dossier like this, and no one is going to read it. But in 3 minutes, if you have 3 minutes in which you can imagine which movie you are going to do, and your skills in directing, in photography, in image, in everything, it's the best tool you can have. For example, this French movie, we went to a pitching, international pitching, and we had no money, zero. We did this teaser, the production company invest the money for the teaser. Yes, you have to invest at the beginning. And we did a video of 3 minutes, I have it here, but we don't have time. And we did the pitching, and at the end of the pitching, we get almost 400,000, nos digo así, ¿no? 400,000 euros in one day. Because pitchings, if you have a pitching with all the production companies and TV workstation and broadcasters and commissioning editors, they get jealous to each other. If they see like 20 projects and in these 20 projects that is the best one, they consider the best one, they fight to each other, and then you get more money. So pitchings are good because if you have the same meeting with only one person in a room, you don't have this component. So teaser, very important, and pitchings, very important. At the beginning, they are very frightening, the pitchings, because it's like el juicio final, the final judgment, because you go there with all the people who are in the power of, they have the money of the movies, and you think if they don't like this project, maybe I'm not going to do a movie again, and it's like focus. But it's very useful, and you have to do it.
Okay, well, I think we don't have time for more questions. I'll just say, obviously, there's filmmakers in the room. Salva and his crew and the job that they're doing and the works that they're producing, we could have just a taste, but it's really, really exciting what they're doing. So by all means, get in touch. Probably, no.
I'm the one of the producers, but I highly recommend you to watch these two movies. They are very different. Maybe you don't like one or yes, but the short film is like a very simple short film, but has a very unusual deepness, profundidad, deepness, depth for a short film, because usually a short film is like anecdotic, and this one is very deep. And the other one, it's like an experience. So I highly recommend both. You select it.
Thanks for that. Well, thanks everyone for
Thanks
coming.
for coming.